this stuff up here. Okay. Thank you for everybody taking the time for this one, and thank you for to Steve and Carol for jumping through hoops and getting us some time. I know it's been crazy getting getting this thing going, but I appreciate both of you for scheduling this. All right then. Did everybody get a chance to get the agenda for tonight? The May 14th one, it was sent out. Let's see, it says via Zoom. If everybody got a chance to take a look at that, why don't we get an approval of that agenda? But if there were people that didn't get that one, let me know and we can email it.
I didn't get it. You can email it to me in a format I can read, please.
All right.
On my Fred Flintstone equipment.
Is PDF or Word good for you?
PDF is great.
Okay, great. Then I'll send it to you right now in a PDF here.
Thank you.
All right. So John.
I'd like to motion to approve the agenda.
Okay.
I'll support that.
All right. Can we get a second? Oh, we got a second? Sorry, there's a lag here. All right. All in favor of approving the agenda as written?
Aye.
Oh, I heard a dog. Approving.
I know.
Here. Very much against it.
All have our hands on.
All right. So let's try that again. All in favor of approving agenda as is?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right.
Sorry. Dog issue there. Sorry.
That's okay. He was enthusiastic too. So
he's like, woo.
All right. And
Okay, got that. And John, you emailed me back saying thanks for sending that. So I'm not sure which you got earlier then.
so I just emailed it to him again. So
Okay. All right.
okay. Well, and since there's no public comment tonight, since nobody called in, then why don't we take a look at the meeting minutes from March and April that went around?
Yeah, let's do March 3rd first. Let's do them separately because we have some changes to make in the April one.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go back to the March one here.
And to remind everybody, March was the special meeting at 6 o'clock with the architect meeting after.
Oh, right. Here we go.
Shoot.
You know, I downloaded the April one.
Should be March and April. March had your chairperson report attached.
Here we go. Agenda.
And April was the Zoom.
Yep. Here we go. Yep. No, I grabbed the other one. Okay. So did everybody get the March 3rd minutes? And the one called to order at 6 p.m. Oh yeah, that was the one where we had a lot of speakers. If nobody got that one, I can email that to them as well. John, did you get that one too?
Yeah, I got it. I can read that.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, then if everybody's got that one, why don't we get approval of this one? You said there was changes to the April one, but not the March?
Yeah, on April, I just wanted people to know at the end, I think I left some things blank. So I just want to, I want to make sure who was present and who was not on April's. So let's do them separately, make a motion, somebody make a motion to accept the minutes for March.
Was Max at the April or the March one?
Max was
No.
He was. It says Patrick and Max were absent. I see. Okay.
Yeah, I think they were absent.
Okay.
I was not there.
All right. Then can we get a somebody?
Motion to approve March 3rd meeting minutes.
Thank you. All right. Can I get a second for?
I'll support that.
All right. Then all in favor.
I'll second that.
All in favor of approving March 3rd meeting minutes.
Aye.
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 All right. Any dissent?
Maybe you should say no, anybody opposed, and that way I could just hear it now.
Yeah, because there's a lag. So
Yeah.
okay, then we can do that. All right, then if that's the case, March 3rd meeting minutes approved, and let's move on to the April one here. There we go. So the April 14th. So you said at the end there was some open spots. Oh, adjourned at.
I don't know what time, and I don't know if anybody knows what time. We could just leave it adjourned and not necessarily have a time. But I did not write down what time. It was a Zoom call, though.
Right. I've got my notes here, but I didn't.
Late,
write
it was
down-
like, I would say,
8:30.
That's what
yeah.
I thought, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I joined
second guessed
late by
myself.
phone because
Mhm.
I had a funeral that day, so I think it was at least 8:30.
Yeah.
Because I joined about 8:05.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Well,
we
then,
should put
yeah.
it, since we don't know, don't make something up, just say it.
yeah, so just say adjourn. But now Cynthia, were you able to get in on the call at the end?
Yeah, I was there at the end.
Okay, so
But I did not join until 8. I had a funeral that day.
well, that's okay. I think as long as you're there, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I had you as absent. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
I was there
It comes to myself too.
Yeah, I'm gonna start writing that down. That when
She is shown as absent.
Okay, so Cynthia needs to be corrected to be attended.
But late.
Okay, attendance. Cynthia late. And I think Max got on, but he was off, but then I don't know if I thought he dialed back in. I know
Yeah,
everybody was
it-
having trouble getting back in.
it failed, and then he got back in, and then it failed again, and I think he called, but he did finish out.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I put him on there.
Okay.
So we just had Patrick, I think, absent
From which one?
from
The
the Zoom one, last one Zoom one we did.
I think I was there in the April one. It says I'm there on the.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that I didn't have you there. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't here in March, but I was here in the April one.
April one. Okay, perfect. So it's just
Yep,
Cynthia need
Patrick
to
is
be
shown
moved
in
up.
April.
Yeah, April 14th. I was there.
Okay, great. And then we're just gonna change the adjourn to just be adjourn, not take the time out.
Okay, I prefer doing that than guessing. So.
Yep.
All right. So if we then why don't we get a motion to approve April 14th minutes with the change of removing the time on the adjournment.
And adding Cynthia to attended.
I'll make
Oh,
that,
and adding Cynthia. Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Can I
Okay,
get a
Judy.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Okay.
Cynthia.
So we'll do it the opposite. Does anyone disapprove? Do we have any nays?
Okay,
Like it's approved.
yep.
Well,
All
Angie
right.
connected that way. All right. If that's the case, then both March and April minutes are approved then. Good. All right, then, if that's the case, Steve, is there anything that you've heard from the city, anything that we know, or is it pretty much business as usual?
Business as usual. The Memorial Day ceremony has been approved by the chief's office as of yesterday. So we're good to go to move ahead.
Okay. So if that, just to keep it small, and whether we can do WROK or Facebook Live or YouTube Live or something like that, what I'd like to do is once we get to unfinished businesses, figure out if we can do our 21 gun salute, if we can do maybe an appearance by the mayor and Mike at the memorial. I don't know if we want to talk about wreaths, but it's going to be a mix of the pre-made video and the other thing. So if that's the case, let's switch over to my report.
Switching to your screen.
No, did everybody get the report, or do you want me to share?
Oh, no, I got it. I got
Okay.
the report.
If not, I don't mind sharing. All right, so let's see, what was that day? I was worked with Richard from WROK, and we met at the memorial. Everybody had masks on, and we're able to shoot several videos, which I got actually got ingested here and started doing an edit of those things. It was Art Masucci, who's the brother of Major Martin John Masucci, who is a MIA pilot, went down to Vietnam. And to the best of my knowledge, they have not recovered the body. But his and then Art's daughter was there too. So we got some very emotional video of that. And unfortunately, right as we were starting, after weeks of not working on that building right behind the memorial, they decided to start doing construction. So there's a little bit of construction noise, but it's not bad. And then so we got that, and I was able to take a ton of photos of the documents they had. So they had handwritten letters from Major Masucci earlier, and then of the long process of trying to find his body. And so that's going to make for an emotional segment of the video. Also talked to John Wendland, who spoke about his uncle Frank Wendland, who was from World War One. And I'm sure everybody's met John by now.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can talk, and it was we were good to coach him to sort of keep it, just take what you want to say, and then but he was able to give me a big binder full of stuff, which I've scanned. So we did get quite a bit of content for the virtual Memorial Day ceremony that we're putting together. Dave Jensen, the band director, did show up. He thought he was just going to play taps, and I made him play all the anthems too, which was interesting because he hadn't really he can nail the American one and the British one, but man, the Canadian one's a little tricky. But after several YouTube videos of watching it, he was able to pull off the Canadian. So big props to Dave Jensen for that one. So we got all of that on camera too, and Richard was he was good. He got a bunch of B-roll of the memorial and the names and everything, so we can cut together a nice piece there. So, and as for, I wasn't able to get Pastor Rick Beatty before today, but tomorrow I'm actually going to be shooting him at Unity of Royal Oak, hopefully outside if it's not raining. And if it is raining, then we can do it inside. So he's going to give us a video benediction invocation tomorrow. And that will be the majority of the pieces for the Memorial Day ceremony. I'm trying to keep it nice and tight and not too long, so people can view it on social media, and we can put it on WROK, and it's not taking up too much time.
Hey, how long do you think it's going to be total? What do you think for a time frame?
Let me know.
I mean, if I can get this thing down to, between, I'm aiming total for about 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Which is long for social media, but probably short for WROK. But it's also, we have, we're going to have 2 prayers, 2 interviews. Oh, and the mayor. I left the mayor out here. So yeah, the mayor was there. And he gave his section. It was right after the big long marathon 7.5 hour meeting, so he was a little burnt out, but he did good. And it was right after I think the Kim Gibbs censure thing that went on for like 7 hours. But he was able to deliver his remarks there too, so that would be part of it. I forgot to put that in here. So, but with shooting Pastor Rick Beatty tomorrow, that will be everything I need to put together the bulk of this thing. So I should have a cut early next week, and what I'll do is I'll circulate that internally so we can take a look at it. I even did some motion graphics with photos of their the fallen ones flying by. So it's I'm not going overboard, but I'm trying to make it something memorable, something that's worthwhile. But now that does lead me to sort of the next section is we had talked, that will be the pre-made stuff, but we had talked about doing a user generated stuff, like people decorating their front porch and showing their selfies with their shirts on and things like that too. So
right.
For the new business, we can talk a little bit more about the user generated content in between now and Memorial Day, where we have people submit things to the Facebook page and everything. But for the most part, the video is well underway. And I think that the only thing that we really had planned for the day of, and I don't know if we can sort of time this where the pre-made video plays up to a certain point and then ends right at a certain time. I don't know. That's going to be something that me and Richard are going to have to talk about. But if that's the case, and we can cut to a live shot of the memorial, then we can do the flag raising and then lowering, and 21 gun salute, and then maybe you know, the mayor says something. And if Mike can be there on that day, I think that would be enough of a live presence that it's not, that it sort of feels that we've done our duty for that day, especially given the other thing. Yes, Judy, you got your hand up.
Richard texted me that the airtime on Memorial Day will be 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. So, so are we doing, is that a cam show that's at 5 and 6 p.m. and then we're doing something live too? Are we doing something live at 5 and 6 o'clock?
Nah, that's a little late for live. If that's the case, then what we can do is we can do a Facebook Live at say 11 or something like that, 10 or 11 in the morning, which we could have, you know, if Mike sort of kicks it off, and then we have somebody from VFW or Legion do the flag raising and then lowering, and then he can throw it to the mayor who can say something really quick, and then we can have the 21 gun salute. At least that is a, you know, a much smaller thing, and then we just run our pre-made video at the 5 and 6 thing. But 5 and 6 seems pretty late for a live broadcast. Yes, Judy.
I'm raising my hand because I think that Willie wants to participate somehow.
Oh, so cute.
I'm raising my hand for Willie.
Willie raising. I love that.
Don't you want your group to be involved somehow?
Yeah, I couldn't raise my hand here, but I wanted to go back to something. I want to find out, Mr. Jensen is going to play taps?
He played taps in the pre-made video thing, but he did say he's open to come back for that day.
Yeah, he'd have to play him after the gun salute. That's normally what they do.
Right.
He'd have to play taps after that.
Either
for live.
I would
my
prefer him playing it
Hello?
live as opposed to the pre-recorded one. But you know, worst case scenario, there are the pre-recorded one where it actually goes in the bugle. But I'd much rather have him play it live, just because I think a live performance is much better. So let's in the notes here we'll say live. Let's see, Jensen, Mayor, Mike, 21 gun, flag raised, and then to
You barking at, girl.
I mean, personally, I think trying to coordinate all the people to do wreath laying on that day at a live time is, I mean, that's a lot of people in face masks and things like that too, which the problem is there are, you know, so the mayor shows up just for the video itself. And we had to be very, very careful, you know, maintaining distance, and everybody had their mask on, because there are, sadly, there are people out there that will hide in bushes and try to take photos of people who are not complying just so they can go, look, and, you know, because there's so much of a firestorm going on over other things right now. So to me, that sort of means the wreath laying thing is rough, but that doesn't stop them from laying their wreaths earlier that morning, and then we can do a like a video pan across the wreaths. If people want to show up at different times and lay their wreath 10-15 minutes apart, so that by the time we do a live thing, we can get, you know, a pan across the wreaths to show that they're there. I just think that having people line up and get in a row and then lay the wreaths is a bit of a problem if the mayor's there and there's going to be people who are just freaking out about every little thing.
Why don't we just have people bring the wreaths, lay them at the monument whenever they can before a certain time, and then take the live video and just take a shot of them.
That would be my take. Yeah, Cynthia.
Historically, that's kind of what they've done in the past anyway.
Oh, okay.
We all put them up there. They're not in place usually, but this time maybe they can put them in place just for the shot.
Okay.
And also, I reached out to, that's what I was doing when I was on my phone when I was here. I reached out to the gentleman who had the, his name is Jerry Barton. I don't know if anybody knows him personally, but his photos are amazing. And I just reached out to him through IM to see if we could use them for the service, because I mean, really, both flybys were. He had some. I don't know where he lives, but he lives in Royal Oak. Do you know John Barton?
Is it Jerry Barton or John Barton?
Jerry.
Okay, so Jerry Barton flyover photo.
He lives in Royal Oak. He studied art at Eastern Michigan University. I'm telling you, his photos are amazing. So I IM'd him again. I sent on Facebook yesterday, would it be okay for us to use them for the veterans? Because it'd be a nice backdrop for that.
Mhm.
So I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted, David.
So we'll have the pre-made ceremony video for that day. I would like to, since we've got the memorial and the grounds there on that day, I would like to see that if we can get, if Mike, if you're available, and Mayor Dave Jensen, and if Ethan wants to do the 21 gun salute, and then whoever would do the flag raise, and then to take it to half staff.
Yeah, I'll be there. Ed Burkhardt will do the raising and lowering of the flag. He does it every year.
Got it. Okay, so Ed.
He's from Legion.
Yep.
Can I raise my hand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is Willie raising his hand.
Hey,
Yeah,
Willie.
gotcha.
Here's what I'm going to volunteer the American Legion for. Is I'm going to volunteer that we're going to do the rifle volleys.
Yep.
We're going to do the flag raising.
Mm-hmm.
And we can be on standby to do taps if Mr. Jensen does not do it.
Got it. I figured you'd be a good backup. So, and I'll say AL on standby for
taps.
Got it. Okay. So that would be my take for the live thing. Now I don't know if WROK. So he's got a 5 o'clock and a 6 o'clock slot. If that means he would play our video at one of those times, or if he can go live at those times, I don't know, but I can talk to him about that. Ideally what we do is if we've got a, say, 15-minute video that goes up to a certain point, and then say, if we go live at 5:15 and he's been playing this thing up until that point, and we go to a live shot, that's best. But worst case scenario is we do a live event that's not coinciding with the other video, and he can just play those videos whenever, and we can do our live whenever. If it's always tough, as anybody who's watched SNL can attest, it's always tough matching up pre-made content with live content. So it's really going to come down to what he can do. But I'm going to talk to him about that one. But that said, for the video, for the pre-made stuff, if we can get Jerry Barton's flyover photos, if we can put the word out there for people to decorate their porches, and then to send us photos, those don't all have to be rolled into the same video. We can put out a standalone videos where it's just photo with music to it. Those are easy to put together, and it gives us more content to put out before that day. Now they could be included if we get them in time, we can include it in the video that goes on WROK, but otherwise it's, sometimes it's just fine to have social only content. But for new business, we should talk about like our finalized thoughts on what we can have people do and send in. So yes, Judy.
So maybe this is a question for Patrick, because back in my days when I was a patch reporter, if people took a photograph and tagged it with a tag, there was an app that just collected all those pictures with that tab and created a gallery. And I can't find anything that does that anymore. Do you know, Patrick? You're young.
Yeah. Are you talking about a specific like social media platform?
Yeah,
or?
So what I'm thinking is if we ask everybody, so everybody that ordered a t-shirt, I got an email saying my t-shirt's supposed to arrive Saturday. Mm-hmm. So like, for example, if we had people wear their Oak Stand Strong shirts and took a picture that said, and tagged it Oak Stand Strong, or held a flag of a loved one that, that in the military that died, or dressed up however they would have been in the parade, whether it's your scouting uniform or their soccer uniform, or Steve can dress up in his fancy pants, uniform. and and then tagged it Oak Strand Strong, is there a way that if somebody tags that, we automatically can grab all of those without having to look for them?
So I know specifically on Instagram, any hashtag, if you look it up in like the search bar, you look up hashtag whatever, it'll come up with like a compilation page of all of the people that have posted that. I can't speak for any other social media platform, but I know for sure.
Okay, Instagram.
So I think if we create a hashtag and we really encourage people, like in the days before, the day of, to either wear what they would have wore if they were in the parade, or wear their Oak Stand Strong shirt and tag it with a hashtag, we can create a gallery, and then we could just create a video of all those pictures, and that would be kind of our virtual parade.
My only caveat to that would be that we get whatever tool there is out there, because I've done that manually, where, like you said, you go to Instagram, you go to Facebook, you look for the thing, and you pull those off manually. If we can do it automatically, great. But what we have to do is have approval process, because what we don't want is, some dude, in a QAnon, thing with, AK-47, we want to keep it as apolitical as possible. So as long as there's approval process and it's not an automatic grab the hashtag on there. So, we have had, even at TEDx events in Detroit, when they've done that, they had a thing that automatically skimmed hashtags and then automatically printed it and put it on a wall. There was some naughty pictures that somehow got through and nobody had noticed. So as long as we have approval process, we'll be good.
Okay.
Well,
yes, Eileen.
Is there any way to upload them somewhere? Because like I ordered a shirt for Jack Salter. So when the shirt arrives, we're going to take it out there and give it to Jack. And he's going to let it sit for a few days. And then we're going to go back and we're going to take a picture of Jack Salter in his Oak Stand Strong shirt. And I wanted to be able to upload that because this is, I think, probably the first parade he's not been able to go to.
I think that people can post directly to the Memorial Day Facebook page, and we do have a approval process that way. Otherwise, what we can do is we can do have people email them, or we can put out a thing that says text them to something. Ideally, they just post them directly to the page, and we can grab them that way. But if they post them anywhere on Facebook with the Oak Stands hashtag Oaks Stand Strong, or on Instagram, we'll be able to get it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, I wouldn't throw Twitter out there. That's a little too crazy. But I think if it's anywhere on Instagram and Facebook with the hashtag, we'll be able to find it. But if it's even easier, if it's posted directly to the Memorial Day page.
So should we ask people to do that like in the days leading up to it, so that when Memorial Day rolls around, we already have them all?
I would say, let's take a look at the calendar here. 1 second. So 14.
Because it's
I would say
to have a little bit of lead time, because if nobody's doing it,
yeah.
Like,
so what I would say is
pictures. We want to.
I think I was muted when I was saying that.
So what we could do is, it sounds like somebody fell over.
Oh no, it's in my house. Sorry. Too many people in the house.
That's okay. I've got 3 boys at home. It's nuts. So what we can do is, if we get out I can make a custom graphic tomorrow. We can get that out. And what we do is we do a big blast on Monday morning. That gives everybody all week, Monday through Friday, to send us their photos. And that gives me Saturday and Sunday to compile those things into some sort of, we can repost them right away, but to compile them into a video, I could do that easily on Saturday and Sunday, so that we can have that for release on Monday. So that will be good. That'll give us a whole week to push that out, and we can put it out both on the Memorial Day site page as well as our individual. Yes, Cynthia.
So are we looking for photos of everybody in their shirts or porches decorated? Has the community been, even been told that maybe we should decorate our porch?
No, that's what so I think there's a couple of
a week isn't, we can't even go buy banners and stuff for our porch, so it's going to be a little difficult to, and I know there's a lot of people who would support this, but we're a little behind the game about doing the porch.
we can do the, if we can put what I was envisioning is something that says, we'd love, the parade may have been canceled, but we're not canceling Memorial Day. Show your pride by decorating your front porch if you can, and take a photo of it. And if not,
Okay.
dress how you would have to the parade, in your shirts, in your Boy Scout uniform, in your whatever. Show us your flags, and then take the best selfie you can and send that to us. And we can sort of have both of those things going at the same time. So it's pictures of people or pictures of their porch. Because like even for Valentine's Day, or after Valentine's Day, somebody had started this thing where they do the hearts, and then
I've seen rainbows all over town.
Yeah, so my wife did this rainbow thing, and so the people that can do it will do it, and the people that can't, then they can just take a selfie, and hopefully they're oak stand strong. So yeah, I'll craft that message, and it doesn't even have to be one. We can do it, and we can do one that says, "Hey, decorate your thing," and then we can do another one that says, "Hey, take a picture of this." And I mean, having multiple streams of user-generated content is not going to be a problem, because we can mix and match.
Okay.
But we'd start that push on Monday morning, and essentially just give them a week, and then I can have Saturday and Sunday to put it together. Eileen, you're muted. Were you talking to us?
I don't think so.
Eileen, were you talking to us? No.
I'm sorry, I'm unmuting. It's just that everybody came home, so everybody's in the kitchen
I
now.
thought you were talking to me, but you were on mute. So.
I was on mute, yeah, because everybody's
okay. Not a problem. Okay.
No, I think though, I do want to say, I think I was on mute when I was trying to say I ordered a shirt for Jack Salter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take the shirt out to him and drop it off, not see him. He's going to let it sit for a few days, but we were going to go back out and take a picture of him in his shirt.
Nice.
So that's something that I'd like to be able to put up.
That's cool. Yeah, a whole bunch of pictures of that.
Well, we do have everybody's email address that bought a shirt in this campaign, and so we could send out a thank you to everybody that bought a shirt. And let them know how much money we raised, and then add a note about if they could take a picture of themselves.
Perfect.
Tag it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
And then the other thing I was thinking of is, particularly for the Vietnam War, I know that it wouldn't be that hard to get photographs of the men whose names are on that memorial, and maybe we could put them intersperse that throughout the thing with their names and the year that they died or went missing.
Is that something that Wendland has?
No, I think if you just go to the Vietnam War Memorial site, it has everybody and their names, and I think when people see the faces of 18-year-olds, Memorial Day is a lot different.
Yep.
And when the faces look like Patrick's,
yeah,
not like the not old men, but.
Well, Patrick, you're 19, right?
Sorry, say it again.
You're 19, 20. What are you?
18.
No, I'm 18.
18. Okay. Patrick is older than I was when I was in the Army.
Yeah.
I went in at 17. I didn't turn 18 until after basic training. So yeah. Look at Patrick, and that's the guys.
They look
less facial hair though. Now, well, if that's the case, since I'm going to be doing the video and the other things, does somebody want to take on looking at the federal memorial and seeing if we can find photos of our veterans that died in Vietnam?
Yeah, I'll do that. It's the Michigan Vietnam Memorial. I know has a really good catalog.
All right, so Judy.
I just don't know if we want to isolate just the Vietnam.
Yeah.
At this point,
it's going to be hard to find.
But I think if you disperse those throughout the presentation, it doesn't really matter. If you just do the Vietnam War, I think it's a little dicey. And I don't think the World War II, the other wars are as readily available to us. Right. But if you grab a few, for sure, it will take me down.
Well, the good thing is I do have John's photo like old photos of his World War I uncle. So what we
So
can
if we
do
disperse
is,
those throughout the presentation, I don't think is as big of an issue as focusing on one. I
Okay.
know that for most of us here, that's the one.
yeah. Well, and it's just that there's so many more photos at that time that are still existing. So.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to put for my to-dos is going to be, so I can write something for the email to go out to the shirt
Yeah,
buyers and tell them to, to take
That's probably
photos.
what's most important, to get that out, because just like Cynthia's saying, we don't have a lot of time. Some people are really creative and they can find stuff in their home and they can decorate their windows or whatever. I'm not that creative, so I'm probably gonna do more, but you would have a choice. You can do the pictures of your t-shirt, you can do up the flag, you can do something on your creator, on your
Decorate your
computer, to
bike.
create something.
Yep. Yeah, so I will write a paragraph that we can send out in an email to the shirt buyers. I'll make the social media card for decorate your porch, and a separate one for give us your best patriotic selfie dressed up for Memorial Day, and we can sort of blast those at different times, but starting Monday to give people a full week to figure it out. And then Judy I'm going to put you in.
Yeah, I'll call John Wendland. He might have pictures of men from various wars.
So you'll do the Vietnam photos and info. I've got the other one. And you're gonna you said you did or you will reach out to Jerry Barton about usage of those photos.
I did. I already IM'd him. I'm waiting for him to get back. I was just wondering if anybody knows him. Judy, no.
Sorry.
I'll send you a
We're
picture
gonna want
of him.
to.
You might know him.
We're gonna want to meet him.
Person.
Yep. Cool. All right, then. And since we're talking about shirts, we sold 120 of them and raised $1,090.
Woohoo!
So with no sweat off our back, so yeah, way to go, Custom Ink. And Judy, yeah, I got that email too saying that mine was on the way, so I can't wait. And yep. And let me go back here. So we did the Custom Ink. We talked about the virtual event. We didn't talk about the sponsorship subcommittee, but last time I think we talked about sort of, really kicking that thing off as early as possible. And so what I was envisioning is we've got one of two options. We can just kind of pretend like nothing happened and say, hey, we're going to talk about next year now, and it's 10th anniversary. Or if we want to talk about, and put it in context and say, look, this year was almost total loss for the parade. We had to do a virtual event and whatnot. We'd really like to see you in next one. It's like, what is your take? What is the committee's take on either crafting a message that is essentially COVID free and just talking about the future, or approaching it from the standpoint of, we're all getting back to what we consider normal, and we would love for you to be part of our 100th anniversary thing next year to really, do it up, because we didn't have anything this year. So what's your take on it?
You're taking those with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so next year's the 100th year.
Yep.
And we're pretty much, I think the city's going to be pretty much complete by a year from now. If we're going to do this, my opinion is that we start it as early as June or July of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we shout it out, and we move forward like it is going to be COVID free, and with the stipulation that for some unknown reason, this doesn't, we want you to commit, but you will not be at a loss. So if we can get sponsors to sponsor that, that far out, and that's pretty, really, if we're going to get the big companies, the Wahlburgers, those people, they need a year.
Yeah.
And they all know that this has been kind of a crazy year. Maybe we send them a snippet of our virtual and say, hey, next year's a different, and say 100 years for the city. So we are really trying to kick it up. We need to start June or July of this year. All of that.
So if that's the case, do we want to, and this is going to go to Carol and Steve, is there a way, can we look at, possibly getting June 2nd, or if we can't, somewhere around there, the next time we do our normal meeting, if we can schedule an hour earlier on Zoom for a subcommittee Zoom meeting as well?
Steve has to make the request to the manager. If he does that before May 21st, that's going to be Dave Gillum. If he does it May 21st or after, that's going to be Paul Brake.
Got it.
So you have to justify the need for the meeting on that date, why it can't wait until more restrictions are lifted. It's going to be your only thing. So that's what you have to do.
Okay, cool. Judy.
By the way, there are no meetings that week. So that's
oh, okay.
Now.
So a couple of things. One, we have to meet in June because the way a budget works is it's not a bank account. They don't put money in your bank for you to use whenever you want. You have to spend it. If you get a $2,000 budget and you don't spend $2,000, you don't get to carry over like $400 next year. So we need to spend this year for this budget because we don't have any expenses. We need to be creative and spend on stuff that we can use next year. For example,
I got the parade, your float.
Right, exactly. That's where I was going. The float.
Yep.
We have a float. It's $2,500. We could just tell the parade company we're going to give you a $2,000 down.
Yep.
Deposit on that this year. We might. I mean, who knows what next year looks like? I don't know. I don't know if they give.
But we'd have that. We'd have that though.
That would mean the float is paid for, and then next year we would just have the regular specials. So we do have to meet in June because we have the end of June to spend down our budget.
So to that end, Carol, did you mean when you said there's no meetings that week, is it because there shouldn't be, or that would be a good week to put in for because there aren't any meetings?
There currently are no meetings scheduled the first of June.
Got it.
And there's a master schedule on the share drive that Steve would be able to access that shows all the dates. At this point, there are the 2 city commission meetings and planning and zoning, and those are later. The city commission meetings follow the 2nd and 4th as they're supposed to when there's no holidays or anything.
Okay.
There's no extra budget meetings, and at this point, there's not a work session for the city commission. They're having one next Tuesday.
All right. What I'll do is
just those meetings. So I would say get your request in like immediately, and Judy's rationalization is solid. Like that's perfect because you have to do it by July 1st. So you have to spend it and get the receipts into finance. So you don't want to wait until the 3rd week in June to have a meeting.
Got it. So what I'll do is, Steve, I'll send you an email tonight about June 2nd and the timing so that you can submit that. And I'll include the rationale for our meeting based on the budget. Yes, Judy?
David, do you want to do both meetings, subcommittee at 6 and the regular meeting at 7?
Yep. So I'll subcommittee at 6 and the regular meeting at 7 is what I'll put in for.
And then I was just going to make one other comment about asking for sponsorship money. Any other year, I'd say absolutely now's the time to ask, but we're going to be asking for money when our favorite friends haven't been open for 2 months. You know what I mean? Like people that we know we can go to that would give us $500. Like I don't want to ask them for $500 in June.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Yes, Cynthia.
Okay, well, I've been a part of this committee for a long time, and sponsorships always come a month before. So believe you me, the Beaumonts, the Henry Fords who are coming into our city, and the Wahlburgers who are already here, they have money. Yeah, and they know. That's why I'm saying if we hit the big sponsorships that we're really going to try to hit, then we give them a snippet of what we tried to do this year, and what we plan to do next year.
So
Because they need time.
So that's a really good point. We need to make sure that people can donate to the Royal Oak Foundation and that money go to the parade, because I'm telling you, we ask for money from Beaumont all the time and we get denied because we're not a 501c3.
Oh, okay.
Not give to play. They do not, they just, you fill out your form and when you don't check off your 501c3 number, they've told me specifically, you're denied.
Can you get the Royal Oak Foundation 501c3 number for me?
You have to
I'll
ask
put that
permission.
right on the flyer.
I think.
Like I assume that if they donate to that Royal Oak Foundation would act as a fiduciary and give that to us, but we got to make sure that that's the case.
I can roll that into.
Yeah, work it out with them.
I'm going to retool those things that we designed for the budget subcommittee. But if that's the case, then I can actually bake that in. You know, all donations will be made to the Royal Oak Foundation, 501c3. Yes, Cynthia.
But okay, we have to. I think Judy's saying you have to get permission through them to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so initially, we're the small businesses. Absolutely no. I think we're all supporting those small businesses right now.
Yeah.
But as far as the big players that are coming into town, and they're coming into town, and if you're saying Beaumont has not historically done anything in the past, they're coming into town, and so is Henry Ford, and we got some big players that we need to hit, and those are the people we need to hit June, July, and August of this year. And I do believe if we let them know what we let go of this year, we've all let go, right? I miss everybody.
Yeah.
And we're all supporting what we can. So I really do think the target is ripe for June, July for 100th year. And we have a beautiful city that they're going to come back to. It's going to be amazing next year. So this is when we need, not the little people.
Right. We're not going to hit up Iron Horse. Yeah.
Right now,
I think we're saying the corporate sponsors. The corporate sponsors.
Let's hit it while the iron's hot. Let's get some of those dealerships in here. Let's get some of those people. They got a budget. We just have to get their budget before they spend it.
So I will retool those flyers. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, I don't disagree with that, but I'm just saying, traditionally, corporations cannot give to things that are nonprofits. They just
agree.
So who can find out who can get buy-in from Royal Oak Foundation that if they take a donation for the Memorial Day Parade that they can. And
Steve wants to talk.
Yes, Steve.
Dave, why can't this committee become a 501c3? Why can't we apply as the Memorial Day?
We probably could, but it's one, it's a very, very long and expensive process to become a 501c3. And that's by design, because rich people like to use them as tax havens. So they make it insanely, I've been trying to file as a 501c3 since 99 for my own business or for my own operation. And because I don't have thousands of dollars to throw at a lawyer, then it just sits there. So you're right to think that, but it's intentionally hard to keep out people who just want to use it as a tax shelter.
Yeah, I think the city has been trying to start that Royal Oak Foundation for 5 years, and they're just now getting it through.
Okay, so it is a 501c3 and is or it's on its way to.
It is, and Carol Schwenger and I have a meeting with some people with the foundation next Tuesday. So we'll ask
okay,
they would be fiduciary for the parade.
Got it. So Carol and Judy ask Royal Oak Foundation. Okay, cool. I'm going to put that in there for you. Yes, Patrick, you got a question?
Yeah, no, I just want to let you know I got to go. I have another Zoom for a AP exam review. So just letting you know I got to take off.
All right.
Did you decide, Patrick?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to Michigan.
All right, go blue.
So what's your AP topic?
Okay.
Macroeconomics.
Awesome.
All right.
Yep. So. Yep.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Patrick.
Good luck on your exam.
Hey, guys. See you in June.
Yep.
Bye.
Later. Okay. So then, Steve, I'll send you that email tonight about June 2nd.
Okay.
Judy or Carol will ask about the Royal Oak Foundation, and if that's the case, then what I'll do is I'll retool the flyers that we did for this year for the big players for next year, and we'll include the Royal Oak Foundation 501c3 info in there. Just, I mean, like I always tell my other clients, make it as easy for people to give you money as possible, and that's gonna help. So I will put in for June 2nd at 6 p.m. for the subcommittee, and then at 7 for the regular one.
Okay.
Now, the only other thing left, let me see, was virtual event. Was there anything that anybody has an idea that they want me to put out there for any more user-generated content?
I don't know, I think I sent it on the notes from the last meeting, but I still have those notes. We had a whole list of things. If you want to, I'll send those to you, Dave, or send them to the committee, because they were like a whole list of ideas that we had.
Yep. So my ideas were one, using integrating past photos of the Memorial Day parade. Doing a decorated homes, decorated bikes and wagons. Possibly sending 2 to 5 second videos that they can do. If you can send a video or a hashtag photo, you can send a hashtag video. So we can put the word out and say, hey, give us a 2 to 5 second video on of your family honoring veterans, and it could just be hey, thank you, vets. Or sharing stories of family and loved ones. These are the ideas that I had for the user-generated content stuff. I don't know if people would do it, but we can put it out there that we're looking for it. I mean, all of them sound good to me.
Okay.
I'm sending you a picture of Steve and I on our shirt as soon as they come on Saturday.
Yeah, that's so that's the
in
first
front
one.
Of the funeral home to boot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we could do social distancing in your parking lot and all of
you
our
can come
shirts.
social distancing on my rooftop.
There, we could do that.
Yeah.
Just got to get past everybody.
Yep.
Get up there and get past everybody.
That's it.
You say no, don't do that.
I'm not going to the funeral home.
It's a rooftop.
It's a rooftop. We got the whole
The
roof.
rooftop. I've been to the rooftop. It's not like a funeral home.
Nope.
We got plenty of 6 feet up here.
Feet
And
up,
not under
not very-
either.
That's right. That's 6 feet side to side, not under.
Yeah. A good unit of measure.
Well, that's really bad, guys.
I know.
So,
It's dark humor.
that's how we all get through these times.
That's right.
So, but if that was the case, then that was everything I had for new business, was just talking about what we could do for possibly other things we can throw out there. And I mean, people can get creative and do stuff. I mean, things that I would have never guessed the heart rainbow thing would catch on, and that one did. So I'll send around some stuff this weekend. You can see it before we put it out there, but I'm going to make 2 social media cards with different messages, and we can sort of blast those out. And then I'll write that email paragraph that Judy can include in her email to the people who bought shirts. But, as always, I mean, we're always wide open. If somebody has a head slapping idea over the weekend, like, oh, this is a great idea. The one thing I am a stickler for is I've always been a stickler for the U.S. flag code, because at the flight line where I worked in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, when you're on guard duty for 8 hours at a night, the only thing that was in there was the federal manual for flag. It was the federal regulations. So I sat there and read the whole flag code. So I'm a big stickler for the flag. I don't want to see anybody draped in a flag. Holding it like with their hands laid over something like that. That rubs me the wrong way, just because it violates the U.S. flag code.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, Dave, but there's a lot of people that don't understand that they're not, and they're disrespecting the flag. They're very, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I've been prior military myself. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Although I think we probably need to understand not disrespecting it. They're actually showing their spirit.
And that's the I just kind of want to put something in there that says, please show your spirit without disrespecting the flag. I don't want to go. I certainly don't want to put the regs in there.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I just don't want it like the dude, God, that's the one picture I saw a guy, at a protest, laid out like a picnic blanket and sitting on it.
Well,
Even Tim's laughing.
Yeah. So I want to include something in there that says, we'd love to see your patriotic family selfies or something like that. Give us your best shot, but please be respectful of the flag or something along the line. So I'll write it up.
Okay. All right.
Wonderful.
So Cynthia, you got a question?
Because we're already into May, and I know you're really busy doing a lot of stuff, Dave. If you can have maybe when you're putting this video together, kind of keep in the back of your mind is something we're going to need to show to the corporate sponsors, because we do need to go in June, and that we're having a meeting in June. So, I mean, that's not something we can really put in the back burner if we're going to really try to hit those. So,
for what,
like some kind of we talked about the levels of sponsorships, some kind of a postcard or something that we had initially talked about. So if we can get a draft for that meeting in June.
Oh yeah. So what I'll do is I'll take the ones that we designed.
And maybe a draft of a short video that I can show people.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna.
The good thing is we'll have all the video that we've done for this, and we can just basically pick and choose individual things. And I think that the thing that would be most impressive to the corporate sponsors wouldn't be the emotional the footage of that. I think it would be the user the citizen enthusiasm part. I think that's the sort of thing that would really sort of get them. So I think we can include that in it. So, but yeah, since we've got the print material design, it's just going to be a matter of sort of updating it for next year, including the Royal Oak Foundation thing.
And the 100th year anniversary too, because that's big. That needs to make a change on that print material.
Put that in here too.
Yeah.
Yep. Retool. Thank you for reminding me of that. 100th anniversary.
I'm excited about it.
So subcommittee video. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
But is there any other new?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Well, did anybody have anything else for the new business that they wanted to get out there? Make sure that we, I wanted to make sure we hit everything before we break.
This is Willie raising his hand.
Hey, Willie.
Okay.
I have two things, just backing up a little bit. One thing is, I'm a veteran. I was a Cold War veteran between Korea and Vietnam. When you come to pointing out special veterans like Vietnam veterans or Afghan veterans or Iraqi veterans, a lot of other veterans get a little bit upset about that. But we're all veterans, so let's kind of shy away from the Vietnam vet thing. That's my point. Number two is I have had some contact with a couple of the VFW reps. They'd like to know if they could be a part of the virtual ceremony. And I know we're trying to keep crowds down and whatever, but if I get back to them, can I suggest that they send 2 or 3 or 4 guys maybe?
Yeah. You know what we could do is if Legion's going to handle the flag raising and lowering and taking half staff, and what we did, we had people last year holding flags up on the memorial on the central stanchions. If we can do that and place them 6 feet apart, whatnot, with we can have American flag on one side, we can have Michigan flag on the other. If we do the Canadian flag with Royal Canadian, I think I saw Eileen's hand go up. What is everybody's thoughts on using the VFW and Royal Canadian for flag holding on that day? Yes, Eileen.
Okay, so the only thing is we don't know what the rules are going to be at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But whatever the rules are, let's say you have to still wear a face mask in public. Every single member that comes there has to be willing to do that, or we have to turn them away.
Oh, sure.
Because
well, I'd say we put the flags in the stanchions up on the memorial. Put them in the stanchions. Then there's less people that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't see any reason that I couldn't come. If I know my time slot is 10 o'clock, I come out there, put our flag out. I put our wreath out. And I don't need
Yep.
to be there. I can be
Right.
far away where I still see it, but I do not need to be right there. I don't need to be a part of it. I don't need to be on the camera. I know my flag is going to be represented there for the Canadian Legion.
So what do you,
That's the Cynthia. That's the Cynthia, right?
what's that?
I'm sorry.
That was Cynthia speaking.
Nope, that was
Oh.
Eileen speaking.
Canadian Legion.
Canadian
Eileen.
Legion is Eileen.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So
Uh-huh.
now did the VFW guys give any indication as to what their involvement they'd like to be? Because there's not a ton that we're going to be doing that day. I certainly don't mind them being there or being part of it, but I'm like, the only thing I can think of is, you know, we could basically take the flags that were on stanchions earlier and then have each one of them pick it up and then kind of go in a loop and then come back and on camera when we go live, you know, deposit them in back to the stanchions. So they're keeping their distance, but at least they get to you know, do something there. But I'm open to suggestions if they've got some ideas too. You can send them my way. Yes.
I'll let them know. I'll be sending an email out to my post honor guard later. I'll copy in the VFW and see what they think they'd like to do.
Got it. Yes, Cynthia.
Okay.
I think we all know that we have some real died and true veterans who have
Mhm.
never missed a ceremony, and they will be there. So maybe it is up to this committee to make sure that they are abiding by the rules, whether it is mask or the 6
Oh, yeah.
feet
Oh,
distance.
absolutely.
We all need to be there. Because, I mean, there are people who are not part of this group and their clubs are closed.
Yeah.
We can't communicate with them. They're going to assume that this is going to go on and it's going to be the way it is. And there's no way for this group to get that information out to them to let them know that there's been some changes because they're old. I mean, I know of veterans that when we were packed in that library during the snowstorm, they're not going to miss it. So they are gonna be there.
What about this? What if we had something, you know, because we're obviously not going to have chairs and tents and things like that out there, but we also want to make sure that people are spaced. Does anybody know those the kind of, they're like glow necklaces that you get them at a dollar store and whatnot?
Yeah.
You put them together in a ring.
Yeah.
If I picked up, you know, 100 of those things and basically went out ahead of time, made them all into rings and put them all 6 feet apart, so that, you know, if people were to show up, they, you know, please go stand on one of those rings. It's something inexpensive that's not going to blow away. That will just, I'm trying to think of something that we can put there. If people do show up, if people, you know, arrive, where we can at least have done our due diligence to point them and say, please be respectful and go stand on one of those things and don't clump. At least that means we can't stop them from, you know, going shoulder to shoulder, but at least we will have done something before the event that would sort of prime them to abide by the rules.
I don't know. Honestly, they're going to show, and there's no way we can force them not to, but we can, you know, I think there's a lot to be said for just saying, you know, we need, if you're a family, okay, you're a family, but we need to respect social distancing, and none of us know what's happening on that particular day. But at this point, we're assuming we got to do that. And as far as the funeral industry is going, that's not going to change until later. So we can only have 10 in the building, and most of them are in the parking lot. So I just think, you know, there's a gentle way to do it, but I do believe there's going to be a crowd. I could be wrong.
Well, if it's not publicized, I mean, we're not going to create a Facebook event for it.
Nope.
They'll still show up.
Well,
what about
I mean, the governor's order goes through May 28th. So
right, that's what I was going to say.
What's in place today is in place on Memorial Day. So
what about here's one of the things I'm thinking of. We so we don't all show up with sort of mismatched face masks and whatnot. I can pick up, I don't know that I want people in a bandana, but we can get American flag bandanas that they can The problem is getting masks that match is hard, but getting bandanas that match is going to be easier.
I don't think we need to go that far. I think what we need to do is be responsible for, you know, John Williams. I'm saying you because you're the one says, hey, I want to have some guys be there. I totally understand that. I know that there's some people that want to be there from the Canadian Legion, but we might come to a group and say, hey, listen, one of us get in a uniform, one of us stand strong, one of us be responsible and do the right thing, not bring 4 to 6 people, bring the people that we need to do to make this happen.
I'm going to make it very clear to my post that it's the honor guard that's supposed to be there.
Okay.
I don't want anybody else to be there other than the honor guard that's going to do the rifle volleys and the flag raising. Ed Burkhardt is a part of the honor guard.
That's great.
And I will be very clear with them to that point. And the post commander is a member of the honor guard also. So as the post commander and the post adjutant says, we don't want anybody there but the honor guard because we don't want to have any problems.
So if we have your word that you're just gonna keep it to those people and we're not publishing the date and time of this,
right?
How are we gonna have a big, huge crowd there?
I don't think so either.
We just have to count on all the people to just keep it to themselves and say.
And do the
Well,
same
it's
thing.
always been at 11. It has always been at 11.
Yeah.
No, that's Veterans Day. Veterans Day is 11/11/11. No.
Memorial Day is 9 a.m.
It's right after the parade, and they know it. So, all right.
9 o'clock, whatever.
Another suggestion is that the VFW, the American Legion, and the Canadian can do a live thing at their own post, and they can still be involved in it. So they can still see it. They're involved. We're not doing, so you can do it live. You can do it live from your post.
I like that.
If the post, if the post
we
is
can
open,
provide you know, links ahead of time for
they're
that.
not open. They're not open.
The
at
posts
this
aren't
point,
open.
they're not open. I
No,
mean,
but
ours,
what we can do is we can put out. We can send it to all 3 of the, you know, Legion, VFW, and Royal Canadian, and send out links that they can distribute to their own people that they can watch from their homes, and do it that way. And I think if it's a public Facebook Live, they don't even need a Facebook login to see, but I'll double check on that. So even if they don't use Facebook, they should be able to see a Facebook Live. But I will double check if that's the case. Can Facebook Live, because some people just aren't on Facebook, Live be done without? And then again, this is also a Richard question too, is if he's there and is live broadcasting it too, then it might just go directly to WROK. So, but I'll talk to him about that. Without FB account. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Willie. I appreciate that. And I've got that down here in my notes. If everyone wants to join in, you're gonna check with that. Flags and stanchions. We'll make sure that we have stanchions and flags ahead of that. But definitely put out the word. Anybody who's there on that day is gonna be in a mask. We just can't handle the negative press if it pops up.
Nope.
People are just chomping at the bit to give some negative press.
Right.
So
I don't think flag bandanas are acceptable in the flag code. Are they?
If it's an actual American, if it's red, white, and blue, that's one thing. But if it's an American flag as a bandana, no, it's not. It
can be stylized.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the ones
be like waving an image of a waving flag.
Yeah, the ones I'm thinking of are they're like they've got a blue band and like red and white, but it's certainly not a flag.
Right.
Yeah. But all right. So
several years ago, I got very incensed that I found out that Old Navy was selling men's briefs. Men's briefs. That look just like the American flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the epitome right there.
Yeah.
I went round and round with Old Navy about that. Okay.
Well, if anybody doesn't have any other new business, then can we let's start looking at adjournment then.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay. Can I get a second? Oh, Eileen, we lost you.
I'll
All right,
second.
the dog started barking again, so I will second the
The
motion.
dog supported it.
The dog
Yeah.
supports it. All right, all in favor of adjourning at 8:17 p.m. And I'm going to put that note here in case we lose that. Say
Let's
aye.
say, does anybody oppose?
Steve's.
Does anybody oppose?
I'm sorry to interrupt. We are tentatively scheduled for next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Do we need that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
If for nothing else than to do a video review, so let's leave it at that. So yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay, so if that's the case, is anyone opposed to adjourning at 8:18? Nope. All right.
I'm writing 8:18 p.m.
Thank
All
you.
right, adjournment 8:18. Thank you for thank you
Good seeing you
everyone.
all.
I miss you all terribly, and
Yes,
I
me too.
appreciate all the hard work.
I miss everybody.
I know. I should actually start doing my hair again.
Mine too.
You too, Steve.
Notice that.
Take care of yourselves, guys.
All right.
All right.
Bye
Have a
now.
good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.